Can Ajahn hear me?
What?
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Cloud and clear. For the two Russians, talking a lot doesn't help you with your practice. Yeah, that is the work we do, the work of practice. Huh? But if you have a conversation together, yeah, I mean, this conversation will go on when you sit down. Not notice? So that's why I say it is not really helpful. Yeah? How much longer are you staying? I mean, that is completely up to you. You can stay.
Very hard to meditate, almost cannot do meditation. So
What?
I have some emotional problem, so I think it cannot solve soon. So I try to become normal again, but now I can.
What comes before the emotional problem?
It's
Thought.
personal. It does not matter to describe, I think, but very strong emotions, overfeeling. I can do anything, read book or meditate. Already since morning can overcome.
Yes, we have to learn to do this. We have to learn how to handle these things. Yeah? I mean, what comes before the emotion? That is the important thing. I mean, is it a thought? Is it a memory? Yeah? Because if we cut it at the root, the emotion doesn't come. Emotion is a built-up process. Yeah? It's like you mix a lot of feelings, memory, associations, thoughts, into something, and build it up, and then whoosh, It's just like, sugar candy, You throw some sugar in a hot pan, and then it becomes bigger and bigger and bigger. But if you don't throw the sugar in a hot pan, there's nothing. That's how we learn, yeah? I mean, yes, it is not easy, but that is how we learn how to deal with emotions. We cut it at the beginning. Yeah? Understood? Fun. Yeah. It is all a training, yeah? I mean, we trained ourselves, from the beginning, yeah? When we were born, we trained, what did we do when we came out, of this small tunnel? Yeah? We started to move the hands and then the arms and then the feet and then the legs, then we learned to walk. I mean, it took so much time. Then we learned to talk, then we learned to read and write, and then we learned to think 16 years before we programmed this body. Huh? So do you think it's easy to learn meditation in 10 days? No. Yeah? It takes a long, long time. And we always, we have a point of reference. And the point of reference is either when we do the Buddha, then it is the Buddha. When we do investigation, it is the object of investigation. When we do the breath, it's a breath. Yeah? So we see the mind goes out, we bring it back. Yeah? Just like, when we learn to walk, we get up and fall over. Yeah? And the child, Mommy, I cannot walk. Carry me for the rest of my life? No, we don't say it. Yeah? We go up again, we fall over, we get up again, we fall over, we get up again, until, a year later we can walk. Understood? It takes time. Yeah. Sorry, patience. Yeah, it's not one of our strongest points. Yeah, I know. Hello, Hendrik.
Yes, Ajahn.
Did you understand?
Yes, I understand by brain.
By brain. It's good. It has not clicked in the heart yet.
So we start. We going to namaskara first, Ajahn.
Okay?
Okay, let's everybody we namaskara to Ajahn. So everybody, today I'll be replacing or helping Brother Chanyi to host today's Zoom session. Please raise your hand and unmute yourself when you're ready to ask or to talk to Ajahn. Thank you very much. Rohan. Should we start, Ajahn?
Good afternoon, Ajahn.
Let me explain something first. I just explained something about emotions. Yeah, I hope everybody understood it. Emotion is a build-up. It's not essential. Yeah? What is essential is the body. We know the 5 khandhas. The body, feeling, and that is bodily feeling or mental feeling. Yeah? Then it is memory and associations, thought, yeah, and consciousness. And when they mix together and build up, that's what we call an emotion. Yeah? And it is, it's a summary of all the 5 khandhas working together, and it is within a blink of an eye. Yeah, there's an emotion. Yeah, but it starts, with a thought or with a feeling of, with one of the senses. It can start with anything. Yeah, but it's not one of the principal khandhas. It's not one of the principal groups. Yeah. So it is. We can boil it down. Okay, there's a thought, and then we replace it with Buddha, and then there's no emotion coming. Or there's a feeling, we return back to the Buddha, or we return back to the Buddha, or the breath, and there's nothing coming up. Yeah? We are creating these things, we let these things happen. Yeah? And once we can learn how to deal with it, then, yeah, then we can investigate what kind of thought, what kind of memory or association brought up this emotion. Yeah? But with everything, yeah, as I explain so often, with everything we have to embrace. Yeah, first of all, we have to embrace it before we can investigate it, and we have to learn that. The biggest problem in all of humanity, is fear. We are driven by fear, and we even say, fear is not a good advisor. Yeah. Why did we take, for instance, everybody told us, 5 years ago, there's COVID, and if you don't take the vaccine, you will die. And because out of fear to die, we took the vaccine. Yeah? And then we have all these problems that come after the vaccine. Yeah? That is, or we are afraid, for instance, now the Europeans are afraid that the Russians will invade Europe. Yeah? So they want to have a war. Yeah? This is stupid, yeah? These things, fear of death, fear of pain, yeah? We are afraid of pain, yeah? That's why we start to investigate what is pain. So, in order to investigate what is pain, we have to embrace pain, to feel it. How is it really? What is pain? What is pain? How does it feel like? But we don't want to. And that's why it gets bigger, the pain, or that's why it gets bigger, the fear. Fear is very essential, It can drive us nuts, yeah? Fear of the unknown, yeah? Or fear of this, fear of that, fear of death, fear of pain, yeah? So we have to learn how to deal with these things, yeah? It's not our doing, it's, it is the kilesas who produce the fear, yeah? Most of the time, to avoid doing the things that are really wholesome. So we have to decide. If we are in fear, we cannot decide rationally. Yeah? So we have to go back. Go back to the breath. Back to the Buddha until the mind is completely calm, and then say, what the hell is going on? I always ask myself the question, what the hell is going on? Huh? And then there was nothing. Nothing was going on. It was going on in my head. And then the moment I stopped the head, nothing was happening. There was no fear, there was nothing. Yeah? Yeah? There was no emotion, there was no... Yeah. Huh? The moment you stop all these thoughts and memory processes, yeah, nothing is happening. There's feelings, there's sensations coming in, there's some hearing, there's some smelling, and that, when you open your eyes, there's some seeing, but that's it, yeah? But the moment the seeing, is associated, it's a function of memory, sanya, yeah? Then things can erupt, yeah? Or if, hear something, you decide, oh, I don't like to hear that, or I like to hear it, these things start, yeah? Sometimes, if you're familiar with the dependent origination, it explains it, how it comes, yeah? But we can stop it, yeah? We don't have to do an association, huh? There's sound, okay, sound, yeah? And that's it, yeah? We don't have to say it is beautiful or not beautiful, or it is human or not human, or it is this or that, yeah? We don't have to have this association that, that forms, all the problems that we have, yeah? So look at fear. What is fear? Yeah, how does it feel like? We don't want to feel it, and that's why it becomes stronger, yeah? Huh? Or, sometimes we deny it, yeah? We deny pain or we deny fear of these things because we don't want to see it. Huh? We deny the ugly side of the human race, we don't want to see it, we look the other way, yeah? But there's an ugly side, yeah? When we are born as a human being, we are evil and we are good. Both of it is in us. We're not only good, huh? And we are not only evil, yeah? In every person, in every being, there's some evil and there's some good, yeah? And some people are more evil and other people are more good. That's it. Otherwise we wouldn't be born into this realm. Huh? Understood? Huh? So learn how to deal with these things. Don't push them away, yeah? Embrace them, and then look what is behind it, yeah? Okay, a feeling. We constantly have feelings. Yeah? We just close our eyes and then, we have bodily feelings, we have sensations in the ears, we have sensations in the nose, and yeah, and the sensation of touch, yeah, or the sensation of thought, yeah? They are constantly there, yeah? We have to learn how to deal with it. Don't get, don't get put into the wrong path, especially by fear, yeah? We have fear of loneliness, yeah? The fear of loneliness drives us to do some unwholesome things, yeah? Not belonging to a group, yeah? We feel, we have other ideas than the group, but then we are alone with our ideas, so we adopt the ideas of the group that we accepted, as a member of the group. That's wrong, it's unwholesome, yeah? We know. The more we meditate, the more we practice, we know what is wholesome. Yeah, we just know. If our heart races, there's something unwholesome. Very simple, very simple. Huh? If it bump, boop, 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 there's something wrong. Yeah, there's something unwholesome going on. Yeah, that's a very good sign. Yeah, and fear is really, or when the heart is completely closed. Yeah. Because out of fear, yeah? Something unwholesome is coming out, yeah? Yeah? And then concentrate it, stop the thinking, and then open the heart, and yes, it is painful, yeah? The heart wants to close because it doesn't want to see. It doesn't want to see the things that that it doesn't like, yeah? And that's very simple, simple. Yeah? All about meditation, I know, you come from the West, meditation is all about, being with the Buddha or being with the breath. No, meditation is about understanding what the hell is going on in our body, in our realm, in our mind. Huh? That is, how are these things produced that completely deceive us or put us into a delusion? Yeah, that is the practice, that is the real practice, yeah? In order, of course, in order, to get to this understanding, we have to train the mind to get calm, to not think, yeah, and not to associate, yeah. And once, the mind gets calm for a little while, then we can investigate it and see how these things arise. How do I know these things that I tell you? Through my own experience, because I investigated it, not through reading books, yeah. Okay, understood? Huh? The people in the Zoom session understood it as well, or? Hopefully. Hendrik,
Yes, Ajahn.
you understood it? Yeah, in your brain, yes?
Great.
Okay, so you can ask questions now. People can ask questions.
Yes, it's Brother Rohan. Please unmute.
Good afternoon, Ajahn. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. I can't see. Yes, now I can see you. Yeah, okay. Yeah, go ahead.
I wanted to ask a question about samadhi practice.
Yeah.
Lately, I'm dealing with a lot of expectations in my sitting meditation. Every time I sit, basically, I'm getting an expectation that, I'm trying for so long that maybe this time I will enter samadhi, or at least I will enter some deep calm. These things run in my mind about. And for example, if my night meditation doesn't go really well, then in the morning I don't get the
You don't get what?
if my night meditation goes not so well, like
Yeah.
it's full of expectation, and I'm just basically going through it, just every time seeing my watch, how much time has passed, and so in the next morning I don't get the energy to wake up and practice meditation, because I just know that it's going to be very hard, and my back's also hurting in the morning as well. So I feel like this is something I've been dealing with lately.
Yeah. And I mean, just like I explained, we are afraid, of the pain, or we are afraid of the toughness. But where is this toughness? Why is it so difficult? Where is the difficulty? There's my fingers, there's my hand, there's my body. What is so difficult? It's all made up in the mind. Expectations, the moment you see expectations coming up in meditation, what do you say? There is expectation. And then you go back to the Buddha. Then the next expectation comes up, there is expectation, and then you go back to the Buddha. Understand what is going, Expectations, think, oh, I'm very close to samadhi. No. The moment you think you're close to samadhi, you're far away. So you can break it up and say there's expectation, and then go back to the Buddha or go back to the breath. Yeah? And if it is difficult to practice, then you should actually do the practice, and then go through the difficulties. It's not always easy. Sometimes it's very easy, to get into samadhi, and sometimes it is very difficult.
Sometimes I just sit through the pain and be very aware of the pain, and just don't expect any kind of calm at all. So that sometimes happens, but not always I get the energy to go deal with the pain. Sometimes I just want to calm.
Yeah. This wanting is prohibiting you from getting calm. It's a desire, yeah? It's just like expectation. It's a desire I want to get calm, yeah? How do I get calm, yeah? Ask yourself, you live in India, you want to go to another city. How do I get to the other city? I get in a bus or the train, board the train, until I'm in the other city, yeah? Or I go and walk, yeah? That's how you get calm. I'm with the Buddha, yeah? That's where I get calm. When I'm with the next Buddha, I get even calmer. Yeah? And then with the third Buddha, and so on, I get calmer. Yeah? You understand that? Huh? No, now it's quiet.
Yes, I actually do that as well. Expect and even if I try to avoid it, that just avoid the expectation and just be with the Buddha. So what happens is that calm also goes away. I have noticed that. I was thinking that maybe it will come more if I reject it more, but it doesn't happen that way.
No, accept it, just like I said, embrace it, and note it, expectations, note it, there's expectation, and then go back to the breath. Our desire to become calm, that is what is hindering us, to get really calm. Understand that? As long as you're with the Buddha.
So,
Yeah?
same situation was happening last month as well. And I don't see any, like, I'm trying to, be with this expectation feeling,
Mm.
but I don't know. I just keep expecting because I feel like I'm doing a deal, doing my precepts and following the practice, doing meditation. So there must be some result that I, in my heart, expect.
Yeah. Yes?
Yeah.
I mean, if you don't, if you want to walk from your house to your office, if you don't walk, you will never, if you expect I'm already there, you will never get there. Walking is one place, one step, and then the next step, and then the next step, and then the next step. And with meditation, it is the next Buddha, or the next breath, and then the next breath, and then the next breath, and then the next breath. And you will go, and you will get there to the calm. But to make up this, I practice so much. Who is telling you these things? The kilesas who don't want you to practice. And actually, for me, it was always, if they are trying, to prevent me, if they say, it's so tough, then there was a red alarm lamp. There's something, if I continue, something really interesting is going to happen. So I continued, and most of the time something really interesting was happening. So if they tell you it's so tough, it's useless, I cannot do it, and things like that, they are just at a breaking point, So get interested. There must be something behind this wall that the kilesas present me, Be it the wall of expectation or be it the pain, And you should not, you should investigate pain. What is pain? Where is the pain? Is it anicca? Is it anatta? Is it dukkha? Investigate pain, not just stay with the pain. That doesn't bring any results. We concentrate on the pain. We look at the pain. We embrace the pain, and then we ask, where's the pain? Okay, in the right knee or in the left knee. So where is it exactly? Is it in the skin? Is it in the tendons? Is it in the bones? Is it in the muscles? Is it in the flesh?
Yes, and even after doing that, after sometimes the pain fades away for a while. And I get a deeper calm.
Yes.
What is that?
That's why you should do investigation. That is the only allowance in samatha practice, when there is pain, and we cannot concentrate on the Buddha or on the breath anymore, to investigate pain. And sometimes, you concentrate on the pain in the beginning, it instantly disappears. Over the while, it stays on, And for me, there's pain. Now I have a very stable meditation object. Wonderful. Just see it in a different light, Turn the arrow that is pointing at you, pain, towards the kilesas, and say, okay, that is a wonderful opportunity to investigate pain. It's your denial. You don't want the pain. That's what is the problem. You understand?
Yes. One more thing that I practice with my clock, with my side.
Okay.
Bed. I usually aim for 1 hour in the morning, and then in the evening I aim for half an hour meditation, then half an hour for reflection. Because it takes a lot of time, so I just keep 30 minutes of meditation in the evening. So this 30-minute meditation timer usually retards I guess it hinders my meditation, to go well. I have this tendency to look towards my time, how much time has passed or how much time is remaining. Like, should I keep the clock or just do it without?
Well, you can keep the clock, you put a timer, that beeps after 30 minutes, but don't look at it. And if you can't stop looking at it, then forget about the clock. It's not important. You can sit for 40 minutes, Look at the watch, I'm starting, and then, put the watch away, and then you sit, and then you see, if you're only 5 minutes, and then you continue, yeah? Okay?
I have one more question. Can I ask?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so this one is more about my worldly life, I would say.
Mm.
Actually losing motivations for my for my studies and looking for the job, etc. All these things. Like sometimes when I get to studying, when I'm sitting for the studying session, I don't feel like there are also glaciers there trying to push me away from studying. In my mind, I just want. There's so many songs playing at that time, and but I don't feel the need to push myself against the grain at that time. Because I feel like it's not really a part of meditation, or maybe. But then I read in one of the Ajahn Chah's book that in which he said that if learning and reading are done mindfully, then these are also form of meditation. Then is that true? Or is
That
what he meant
depends. That really depends on the subject. If you read some Dhamma books, yes, it can be true. It can lead to calm, yeah. But if you read mathematics books, or physics books, it doesn't.
Okay. Yes, it was about actually scriptures in which he said that.
Yeah. About scriptures, it can be true, yeah. But then take the original scriptures, yeah. From the Buddha, not the commentary.
I'm also very least mindful during my studies. I've noticed that I can't recall anything I've had in my thoughts, in my mind, when I'm doing my evening reflections about my studies at all. So
you cannot do what?
I cannot recall anything that was going in my mind during my studies.
That's right. Yes, but be patient. Over the time you will see. Yeah, when you read a text in your studies, yeah, and then you see your mind going off, thinking about what you just read, yeah. That's what you will see after a while. The more you do the reflection, yeah.
Also, how can I be motivated for these kinds of goals? I always look for the farthest thing. At the end of the day, what does it provide me and all? Mm-hmm. So eventually, all these things just fade away, and they fail to provide some long-term stability, even this job and all. Can I, is there a way around it? I cannot find anything.
A way around what? That you look at life, or what is?
Yeah, basically, to keep myself motivated in my worldly life as well, so I can land a job or something.
Did you finish your studies yet?
No, they are going. I'm in the final year of college.
You're in the final year. Yeah, finish your studies first, and then take a break, and stay somewhere in a monastery, for 3 months and see if this is maybe something that you like.
Monastery just seems so hard for me right now. Like when I see all these monks, I read about their rules and all. I'm not really ready. I think
you don't have to become a monk to be able to stay in a monastery. You can stay there as a lay person with 8 precepts. That is easy to remember. Look at the people here. They stay here. Sometimes for months. Sometimes some of the people for years. Yeah. But even that, if it's not for you, then go on meditation retreats and see, if you can go deeper. Yeah. And ask yourself, what do I want from life? Because this life, when this life ends, when you die, there's the next life and you do the same thing again. Yeah? That's what I wanted to say in the beginning, I mean, we train this body for 16 years before it can do anything, worthwhile, yeah? And then then we have the body strength for 30 years, and then we wait for death, for 40 years, and the next life we do the same thing. Each time, we are born as a human being, we have to do the same thing. We have to go to work, to feed the body, to house the body, to clothe the body, and to and to buy some medicine, yeah? Think about, a little bit further out, about the next life and the life after that and the life after that, yeah? There's no end to it unless we put an end to it, yeah? Okay?
Okay, one last thing.
Yeah.
About my reflection, if I miss something in my reflection and out of nowhere, I suddenly recall that I missed something, and can I go back and review that?
Yeah, sure.
No problem.
No problem. In the reflection, no problem, yeah? But what you can do, or what I did is, tomorrow the same or similar situation happens, let me be more aware so that I can catch it, yeah? There are two things, yeah? You can go back, but that mostly leads to thinking, when you see it's to think too much about it, forget it, and just prepare yourself. Tomorrow, in the situations, I want to have more sati, yeah? More awareness, yeah? Okay?
Okay, thank you so much.
So, anybody else?
How many people are in this session? Hendrik?
There's around 16.
Okay. So, no more questions, and you can read the questions that came. Holland?
Holland.
How are you doing? How's your baby?
Oh, she's doing great. Thank you. How are you doing?
Yeah, surviving. The rainy season starts a little bit early, 1 month earlier than normal. But that's good, then we skipped, the hot season. Yeah? The hot season was not really a hot season. Okay, so how is Holland? Full of hate towards the Russians?
Yes. Yep.
And
America.
And America, that's good. They pulled Europe into the war with Russia, yeah? And now you send your, what I hear is you send your soldiers into the Ukraine so that they die there. What is the point of it? And there's no peace movement, yeah? I remember, in the 80s, I was standing with 1 million people, protesting for peace. And now everybody's protesting, wanting war. What is, something is wrong, yeah?
Yeah, I think Europe is afraid. Is clinging to the US too much, and now it's afraid.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just want peace.
Yeah.
So let's hope it stays.
No, it won't stay. It's boiling and sometimes it boils over. And then that is the end of Europe and probably Russia and China and US, They get in a big war, and So you better come to Thailand, put your little girl under the arm and go to Thailand and take your husband with you.
Yeah, well, my husband doesn't want to go yet, so if it were up to me, I would. But
Okay. So what is the problem?
Well, it was interesting, your talk, because that was a bit in my mind. And I was wondering how to investigate mental feeling properly, because I hear you say how does it feel like, and go back to where it started. But for example, I remember once in my life, I was very, very angry, 3 or 4 years ago. And I was practicing meditation quite well at that point. At the time, I was just meeting with it. and I was quite dedicated. And I got really angry for something, and I tried to meditate and see like what is anger and well, where does it feel like? And I felt like a really burning in my chest, like really, really heavy. And I tried to go to see what happened there, and then eventually it calmed down a bit. But I was just thinking, do you have to like try to locate feeling as well, or how can you investigate that properly? Because in the Netherlands they talk about feeling, and you should know about what happened and look back at your past, or maybe you have traumas when you were a child. That is how they they do with feeling. And then I feel like, yeah, well, I don't feel
No.
I further with that, but
the first thing, I mean, if they anger, if very strong anger, I mean, it is fueled, as I said, it is also an emotion, it is fueled by thoughts and memories, I mean, it arises somehow, so you embrace it, While you embrace it, you don't think, You stay with the Buddha or you stay with the breath until it calms down. Once it calms down, you can look, you can stop there, and see it comes up again. And then you see what brings it up. So you first embrace it, you don't want to deny it, you just feel it, and you felt it correctly. It is really a burning in the heart, So you stay with the burning in the heart, but at the same time you have to control your thoughts, You have to stay with the Buddha, 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 Buddha. And then you see the anger goes, And then you stop the Buddha, and then you look what brings up the anger again. Because it comes up instantly, with a memory or with a thought,
Yeah.
And then you know what brings it up, And then you can retrace it. What came before this thought? What came, before that, Now, don't go back, when you were born or what your parents did to you, because that has nothing to do with your anger, Another person has nothing to do with your anger because it's your anger, It arises in your heart and you are responsible for it. You are the only one responsible for it. It's wrong thought, wrong ideas, wrong memories, wrong, whatever, wrong conceit, whatever it is, but you want to find out. That's how you do mental feelings, You always embrace it, you feel it, because it also comes out in a physical feeling. Lust, the same thing. You ever investigate lust? No, we don't want to investigate lust because it's nice. It's the same burning. It's a burning, We need to get rid of it, We need to fulfill it, Remember the Europeans coming to Thailand, I mean, they go to the beaches, they heat themselves up until they can't stand the heat, then they go into the cold water until they can't stand the cold, and then they go heat themselves up, And they do that the whole day. In the evening say, oh, what a wonderful day, I mean, heating up, it's burning, cooling down is also, I mean, it's unpleasant, They just change, one unpleasant feeling, they cool it down, And then they heat it up again, And that's the idea of, of the best holiday I ever had. You can do the same thing at home. Like I said, I often say, run with your head against the wall, because it's so nice when the pain disappears. Or put yourself, in a hot coal, and then put the hand, in a cold water. It's the same thing. It's a difference, that makes us excited. The difference between extreme pain, and then the release of pain. And lust and greed, lust and anger are painful, are, burning desires, And we call them burning desires, no matter if it is anger or lust, Okay? Another question?
Yeah, a follow-up question. Like I only experienced this anger, this much anger, once back then, and now when I feel anger, it's quite hard to feel like the heat again. It's more difficult because then it was exploding, so I just saw it instantly, and
That doesn't
now
matter. Then just go back to the Buddha.
all right. But do I hear you say like when anger comes, that is an emotion, but then what is mental feeling? What is then the difference between the
Mental feeling
and the
is
emotion?
only, it is a positive feeling or, it's a positive feeling or a negative feeling. And then you decide, what it is, yeah? Memory decides, this is anger or this is lust, but actually it's one of the same thing, yeah?
Okay.
But because, because we differentiate, because with all our feelings, this is this kind of feeling, that kind of feeling, that kind of feeling, that's why we have to feel it, yeah? What is the difference between this kind of feeling and that kind of feeling? When we are calm, yeah? What is the difference? Huh? We have so many different kind of feelings. So many words in our language for feelings, yeah? There's this kind of feeling, that kind of feeling, that kind of feeling, but we don't know what it is. We don't feel it. That's why I said feel it or embrace it, And then look what comes, if it is too weak, then look what comes before it. What kind of thought? What kind of thought? What kind of sense? Maybe it is a sense of the eyes. Maybe it's a sense of hearing. Maybe it's a sense of smell. Yeah, that produces things. Yeah.
Yeah, for that thing I understand. Like how to go back. But when you say like feel it, I know if I feel something, I just feel it. But how to really feel it? Do I have to like when the example with the anger, I really felt it and I felt burning and
yes,
in that way should I locate that as well and feel how that feels or
no, just try to just try to feel it. If it's strong, then of course it is very predominant. But most of the feelings are very subtle. Yeah.
Yeah.
So feel it, and then just go on. If it is of no importance, then just go on with your practice. Sometimes it's not most of the time it's not of importance. Yeah. These feelings come and go. Or see the anicca in it, yeah? The rise, okay, it cease, okay, bye-bye. If it comes again, if the same kind of feeling comes again, then investigate it. But if it's just a feeling, boop, comes and goes. Say anicca, yeah? Impermanent, yeah? Just like clouds, permanent.
And if it comes again, you mean investigate it by looking back at the steps which caused
it? First embrace it a little bit as much as you can, feel it, and then go back, yeah? If it comes often, yeah? If the same kind of feeling comes often, then investigate it. But if it's just a feeling, poops, go, yeah? That's like our thoughts, poops, yeah? Can you remember five thoughts ago? No.
Nope.
Gone. How can there be me, mine, or myself? Yeah, use the principle of anatta. Use the principle of anicca. Yeah, see, okay. Yeah, just like a cloud, going by, passing by. It's interesting. Yeah, use these principles. Last time I think I was talking about anicca, anatta, dukkha, or was it in the talk? I don't know. I talk so often, I don't know when I talk about this. Use this principle of, these are the universal characteristics of all the phenomena in this universe. Yeah? Anicca, anatta, dukkha. Anicca, impermanence, arise and cease. Yeah? That is impermanence. Yeah? Anatta, whatever I can see, or whatever I can experience, cannot be me. Yeah? It's not me, it's not mine, it's not myself. Yeah? There is a feeling, yeah? Oops. Yeah? Or there's a thought, there's a memory, okay, anatta, yeah? And dukkha, you know, I mean, see how it impresses us, yeah? I mean, it is a nice feeling or it is a nice thought, you know, and then we get excited, yeah? And excited is also our feeling, you know? I mean, the heart pumps up, you know, yeah? Is that actually, a nice feeling? No. When we look at the heart, you know, yeah, I mean, it's not calm. A calm heart is, you know, it's a nice feeling, yeah? Okay?
When you say look at anatta and,
Yeah.
and that, that is what is taught here in the Netherlands as well, very much. Like, look at your feelings, see they come and they
Yeah.
go and come and they go.
Yeah.
And I remember you always saying, well, you can do that all your life and you don't get anywhere. So how can
Yeah, I mean,
you,
there's one thing, you know, you can look at it, yeah? You can see the rising feeling. Yeah, of course, yes, they will come for the rest of your life. But you can use the principle, okay, this is anicca, yeah? Then you understand something, yeah? Okay, this is anicca. And if that's why I say, if the same feeling is coming, then you investigate. But random feelings, you know, that just come and go, you know, I mean, see them anicca, yeah? Or see them as anatta, yeah?
right.
And the more, yeah, the more you get calm, you see, you know, how they things, you know, evolve, yeah? It's like, you know, I mean, you have a blender at home, you know, you put tomatoes, you do all sorts of fruits and vegetables in it, you know, and each time it has a different taste, it has a different color. But the ingredients are all the same, yeah? Just a mixture of, you know, I put more of the carrots in, you know, then it tastes like that. I put more of the tomatoes in it tastes like that. Yeah? But the ingredients are always the same. Yeah? There is no difference. Yeah? The ingredients are the 5 khandhas. Yeah? So don't get fooled by it. Yeah? I mean, when you do samatha, don't be interested in these feelings coming up. Yeah? Get calm. Because that is also a way, you know, how to distract you. Oh, that's a feeling. Huh? Yeah? Where's my Buddha? Huh? At that time? Then you don't get calm. You don't mix these two things up. As I said last time, if I'm with my Buddha, I'm on the right path. If I'm not with my Buddha, I'm on the wrong path. If I am with my object of investigation, I'm on the right path. If I'm not with the object of investigation, I'm on the wrong path. So simple to understand, simple to remember. Huh? But
Yes,
we get
it
so
is.
easily distracted, yeah? Okay?
All right. May I ask another question? Like I'm facing some of the same problems the men before me told you, and like it's quite difficult sometimes to get calm, and I have like it feels like thoughts and memories and all these kinds of things are like attacking me constantly, and it's hard to go back. But I understand I just have to practice more and keep practicing. It's very clear.
Yeah.
And when I do get calm, or when I have, it's when I get calm, when I try to go to, like when my knee, to see where it's located, and I can't really see if it's in my muscle or if it's
What
my
can't you
faces. I
see?
can't see it.
What can you not see?
I can't see exactly where it's located. I know it's in
What?
my knee, of course, but
Oh, yeah. Then go on,
if
you
it's
know,
in my
probe
bones, right?
into, yeah, until it switches from one knee to the other, yeah. It is never, you can't find it, yeah. That's the whole idea of investigating. What is the pain? You cannot find it because when you get up, there's no pain. Yeah? But we want to see, you know. Yeah? So I mean, is it in the skin?
Like if it's a small thing.
I didn't get it. Repeat?
Oh no, I was listening.
If it is in the skin, if it, lots of people say, it is in the tendons or it's in the muscles, that's where I feel the pain. I mean, since you're born, you have muscles. Yeah? Why do you feel pain now? Huh? When you sit in front, of your TV, I mean, you sit for hours without pain. Huh? When you're with friends together, sit and eat, and chat, I mean, you don't feel the pain. So what pain is? What is pain? That's what we want to understand. Yes, you cannot see it, but you can probe into it until you understand it's actually not in there. Once you understand it's not in there, it switches to another place, and then you do the same thing, until you understand it's not in there, and then it shows you now when you follow it, it shows you where it's actually coming from, the pain. It takes time.
I look at it and it's really burning, for example, and it does. Like when I have a small pain, it always happens in my back, and then I see it switch.
Yeah,
I see it switch. But when I have in my knees, for example, it's just really burning and it stays. And when I get up, yes, it's gone. But when it stays, I try to stay with it and feel how it feels, and then I really try to look at it, and I just see like heat again and like trembling, something
okay.
like that. Maybe it's wrong, and then I don't know how to.
Yeah, but where is it? Is it in the skin, this trembling, or is it in the muscles? Is it in the flesh? See it. Try to see it. You concentrate, and
But
you can't find it.
See it.
You can't find it actually. Yeah. So what is burning, Yeah. But, I mean, there are two, I mean, you look at the pain with two eyes, yeah? One is a little bit interested in what is pain, and the other one wants to get rid of the pain. No? And that prevents you from seeing clearly. It's just like the expectations, I mean, when we investigate, pain, then we have the expectation that the pain is gone. No, it's not gone, yeah? The same thing, when we expect, when we do Buddha, to get calm. Sometimes we don't get calm. Yeah? Dhamma sometimes said, I'm in here to sit for 11 hours in a row before he got calm. Sometimes it happens, I mean, it can depend on the weather, it can depend on our mood, but we have to strive. Yeah? There's something interesting to learn, when we don't get calm, it's something interesting to learn. How can we deal with this restlessness or with this burning or with this fire? Because, it's interesting to learn. Turn the things around, what can I learn from it? Huh? No, I don't want. Yeah. Yes, I'm interested, but I don't want it, yeah? That doesn't get us to the insight that we need. Okay?
Okay. Thank you very much.
Okay, so next question.
Yep. There's a question from the participants.
Yeah.
By message. The first one is by Sis Liz. Her name is Liz, and
doesn't matter.
Ajahn,
don't name.
Yes.
Yeah. Just read the question.
Okay, Ajahn. Ajahn, it is harder to let go of fame, power, and position. My mind understood that it unwholesome, but the heart cannot let go of these desires.
The kilesas cannot let go of the desires. That's why you have to investigate desire. Is desire something that is wholesome or unwholesome? Yeah? And what is it, I mean, what is it that fame, power, or whatever wealth give you? It doesn't give you a wholesome feeling. You have to investigate it, yeah? Huh? I mean, if I'm nobody, I mean, what does it change if I'm somebody or nobody? What does it change? I'm still the way I am, yeah? If people look up to me, the more the people look up to me, the more I have people who look down on me. Yeah. Normal way of the world. Yeah. Some people, think, I'm the greatest. I'm the greatest teacher. Other people think I'm the greatest a-hole. Yeah. So does it have anything to do with me? No, nothing. It's what people think. I cannot change their thinking. Yeah. I can change my thinking. Yeah. No, I mean, she has to investigate, or he has to investigate, what does these things bring to me, yeah? Yeah? Normally they bring me all fire, If I need wealth, I have to, yeah? Or if I need power, I have to step on other people's head, to get up, climb up the ladder, yeah? And then when I'm up, when I'm up on the top, other people are, I'm trying to pull me down, yeah? I mean, what is the fun in this, yeah? Investigate these things. The desire, yes, the desires come from the heart, yeah. The mind tells us, maybe it's not good, but it's not the mind, it's also the heart. It's part of the heart. The Dhamma tells us, yeah. So it's a fight, yeah. But the best thing is, get calm and see you don't need all these things. You can be happy without everything or without anything, yeah. Just stay, close your eyes, be with the Buddha, and then, get into the calm until no more thoughts and no more memories come up, and then you feel happy. Or can you not? Yeah. The world is far away. Yeah. If you go even deeper down, into Apana Samadhi, I mean, the whole universe disappears, and you're still there. Yeah. Or something is still there. Okay. Next question.
Next questions. Sometimes when I recite the 108th episode, after some time, the mind wants to even let go of the chanting and entering a space. What is happening? Should I continue to chant or let go of the chanting?
Don't chant itipiso, chant Buddha, and don't let go of the Buddha. I mean, if you want to enter some, if the mind wants to enter some space there where it can roam freely, throughout the world or through all the, all the realms of existence, that is not the path. Yeah, that's not the right way. Yeah? And itipiso, I mean, that is too long. Buddha, Dhamma, Sangha, yeah. Repeat that, yeah. But that is probably boring, yeah. And that's the same thing after 100 times of itipiso, it's boring, And that's why it wants to, go away, The chitta wants to go and into space, and explore, all these things, yeah. But that's not practice, that's not meditation. And the mind doesn't get calm. Okay, next. Oh, it's very... No, so don't have to do anything.
If anybody doesn't have a question, so I continue with the email questions.
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, go on.
Yes, he would like to ask how Ajahn Martin learned to speak the Thai language, and or Ajahn provide a referral to a school or person who can teach him how to speak Thai.
How is a little baby learning the language? That's how I learned Thai. Listening. Yeah. I had a little book, in the beginning, I learned how to read, the Thai and to write, yeah. But that's all, yeah. And then I listened, yeah. I mean, the first 2 years, I mean, if you listen with your heart, you start to understand, yeah. And that's what normally babies do. They listen with their heart. They don't listen with their mind because their mind is not developed yet. They don't think, what is the translation of this, yeah? They listen and they see the implication of the words, that have on other people, and that's how they use the words. Yeah? Simple. Next.
Okay, next. Venerable Ajahn Martin, how can we deal with overconfidence and the feeling that we have already understood the Dhamma? when we practice by ourselves. Very often I have delusional thought of confidence that I am already a Sotapanna. Even though I try to see this talk as just fake talk, they still do a lot of damage. Because of this overconfidence, I indulge in things that I should not. Because of these thoughts, I feel comfortable oversleeping and indulging in sensuality. Thank you so much for offering us the talk.
That often happens, it happens to every one of us, He has a feeling, I'm a Sotapanna, or I'm an Arahant, The thing that I did is to destroy it, I'm not a Sotapanna, I'm going down to hell, Whenever that comes up, I'm not a Sotapanna, I'm going down to hell, I'm not a Sotapanna, I'm going down to hell. And the moment you see, this belief is shaking, then you know it is delusion. And then you can forget about it. Very, very simple. I had to use it often because we get delusional. Our practice. Oh, wow, insight. Of course, yes. And sometimes, when I was with Ajahn Martin, I went to see him. And he looked at me and said, "Well, what kind of BS is that? You're just deluded." So, I use this technique a lot, and people have to use this technique, the more they progress, in their insight meditation, and then these insight, this was a really deep insight. What was this insight? Can't remember, but it was a very deep insight. Forget about it, it was nothing worth of it, If we have an experience that is very deep, we can remember it, even after 10 years, we still remember it, If you cannot remember, it wasn't even worth remembering it, And the same thing, destroy whatever you can destroy it, You cannot destroy a real experience, If you really entered Sotapanna, you cannot destroy that, But you can destroy your belief about, And that's where the overconfidence, The kilesas tell, I'm Sotapanna, I just have to wait 7 more lives, Now I can sleep, now I can eat, now I can all these things, Then you know it's already wrong. Okay, next.
Next question. Venerable Ajahn, what should we do when we are asked questions about Buddhism by non-Buddhists? I heard that teaching wrongly is a very heavy karma. Since I live in a non-Buddhist country, I try to be as covert as possible with my practice, but sometimes in order to avoid false speech.
No, try.
I have to refer.
What? You're breaking up.
Pardon?
You're breaking up.
Okay, I read it again, Ajahn?
No, the last part. Just read the last part.
Okay. I try to be as covert as possible with my practice, but sometimes, in order to avoid false speech, I have to reveal that I'm a Buddhist. When this happens, some people start to ask me questions about Dhamma. My little brother saw me meditating once, and ever since he keeps asking me questions about the mind, meditation, and the Buddha. I try to give simple answers and focus on Sila. I'm afraid of explaining wrongly, but I would like to help those who have genuine interest in Dhamma. What should I do? Thank you so much.
If they have genuinely interest in Dhamma, you can explain, and you can tell them, there are some Buddhist texts, that if they want to know, they can read the text, the suttas, and then try. Or you can explain them. You can explain about the 5 khandhas. There are 5 khandhas. You can explain anicca, anatta, dukkha, about the simple things, Or you can tell them, the best way how to explore the Dhamma is, try to meditate, and get into touch with it. That's what I would say, What?
No more questions, Ajahn.
Okay. And no more questions from the audience? Are there some questions? There's one, no? Okay. One more question and then we end the session,
I started practicing towards the 3 stages of death. I'm gradually extending the length of my meditation sessions, trying to follow your advice to focus on pain when it becomes unbearable. However, as it fluctuates, I try to return to the breath. Is the right thing to do? After the last session, when I finally reached next milestone, there was a feeling of defeat, insufficiency, confusion, and misery. What tips for this type of practice would you give to a lay follower? How to get oneself ready for going through this practice?
I mean, experience pain, investigate pain like I explained it today, and first you praise the pain, and then locate it, where is the pain, and then ask where exactly in the body is it located, or in the body part that I concentrate. For the moment, forget about the 3 stages of death, that's so difficult, for the moment, especially if you're a lay practitioner. No, just try to understand what is pain. I go and concentrate and then ask what is pain. How does it feel like? Where exactly is it located? And then I go and concentrate on that part. Be it the knee or be it the back. And then I go there and then ask the questions. Is it in the skin? Is it in tendons? Is it in the flesh? Where exactly is this pain located? And if it is not strong enough, forget about the pain. And let's stay with the Buddha. We should only go to the pain, when it is so disturbing that we cannot stay with the Buddha or the breath anymore. And then it doesn't fluctuate. That's all. I was just talking about the 3 stages of death. But it's lots of people can't even go through it. Comes towards the end of the practice, But pain is enough to investigate. We all fear pain. We all fear sickness. We all fear death, So we can investigate death. What is it meaning, when we die, the chitta goes out to the next body, When your car dies, and cannot be repaired, you buy a new car. So what the point, The driver is not, it's not breaks down. Ever realize that? When your car breaks down, the driver of the car doesn't break down. It's still the same people, it's still the same person. So when the chitta goes out of the body, the last moment, the mood of the chitta, it goes into the next body, the mood changes a little bit because, it takes some karma, it goes back home, where all this karma is stored, takes some new back, packs his bags new, and goes into the next life. So where's the problem with death, We're afraid of the pain of death, yes? So if we investigate pain and go through pain and understand where pain is coming from, we are not afraid of pain anymore, and we cannot be driven to unwholesome doings, when we are in pain, The same, we can investigate sickness, What is sickness, The body is sick, but the chitta is not sick. The chitta is perfectly fine, but it is, it is most loved toy, the body is, is not working as it usually does, And then what does it, when we take the favorite toy from a child, it cries. And so we do the same thing. When the body is sick, we cry, I'm going to die, 3 days later, I'm healthy again, and I don't even think about death. Stupid, but we never look at these things, We see these things, but we never reflect, That's why I said daily reflection is a very good thing. Okay? Any questions from the audience? From Russia? No? Yes?
Actually, I have a follow-up question. So
Uh-huh.
continue.
Yeah.
Actually, don't have, we must not want this. So
Yeah.
I'm confused about this idea. Why is it a relief that the chitta goes to another, continue?
The chitta goes to the next life because of its karma. Yeah. The karma is the driving force. Yeah. I mean, the good karma leads us, to a favorable rebirth, be it in the human realm or be it in the heavenly realm. The bad karma leads us to the down realm. If you don't want to be reborn, you still are reborn because you don't have control over the chitta. And the chitta follows the karma. Yeah? Actually, yeah, I mean, if you take it, if you really define it, it's not the chitta that goes into the next life. It's a karma that brings you to the next life. Yeah? So you have to cut down. You have to cut down the desire. And the desire is wanting to be born again, but the desire is also not wanting to be born again. So this desire brings you to the next life. And depending on this desire, you end up in this realm or that realm. You understand? I mean, why do people kill themselves? Yeah, they don't want to live in this world. So when they kill themselves, they go straight down to hell. And that is certainly worse than all the things, they experience here in this world. Yeah? So not wanting to be born, I mean, the Kilesa say, yeah, I mean, whatever you want, I mean, this is not of relevance to you, to us, we want, yeah. You understand? Desire can be negative, yeah, I don't want to, or desire can be positive. And this desire is actually that creates our dukkha, yeah. We desire for something, we don't desire for something, we don't want this to happen, this creates a dukkha in our heart. And as long as this desire is not cut off, we are being reborn, no matter what. Okay? So, more questions? No? Alex, how are you doing? Yeah, it's not easy, I mean, sometimes it's very, very difficult, And I said, I mean, I always ask them, it's so difficult, it's so difficult. Then I ask myself, you want to give up? Yeah? You want to be born again? And the answer actually came out, no. So what do? You go on. You go on through the difficulties, whatever difficult it is, yeah? And that's how we process, yeah? Proceed, yeah? Yes, fun, yeah? This question always popped up in mind, yeah? Whenever, now I need to take a rest, yeah? You want to be born again? No? Okay, go on, continue, yeah? I mean, you have to have some motivation, yeah? I mean, no matter what your motivation is, yeah? You have to have some motivation to go through the difficulties, yeah? I mean, Lungta Mahaprabhu said one thing, yeah? I mean, he said something, that is very valuable, yeah? I mean, there is no, yeah? I mean, the hardest work, in the world is cannot be compared to the work of a meditator. So the hardest work actually that we can do is to practice, yeah? But it's also the work, that is most worthwhile, yeah? Because, I mean, even if you work, down in whatever, and dig for gold or dig for, diamonds or things like that, every day it's so tough, yeah? In the next life you do the same thing again, yeah? It doesn't have any effect, yeah? But the work you do in meditation, it does have an effect on the chitta, on your karma, yeah? And over the time, it will reduce, the desire to be reborn, yeah? Or not to be reborn, whatever you decide. Okay? Hendrik, are you still there?
Yes.
Did you fall asleep?
No.
Okay. So I wish you all well, I mean, yeah. Investigate some of the fear that you have, what are you afraid of? Yeah, investigate it. What am I afraid of? Of death, yeah? Am I afraid of, being lonely or being outcast or, being this or being that, Investigate this. Okay, have a nice day, yeah?
Okay, so we close today's sessions. Let's pay respect to Ajahn together. So today's sessions, we finish today's session. Thank you very
Okay,
much.
bye-bye.
Namaskar.
Okay, go back to practice. I like actually when it's raining. You so nice, yeah? And you can